And just for a change, it's going to be a little bit of the old Doctor Who stuff. Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. So, as I haven't dipped my toe in for a while, let's talk about all things Doctor Who. I know, it's a thing that I've sort of been avoiding as much as possible, but sometimes, just sometimes, you have to go back and just have a look at the state of it all. Any case, so, Whovian fanbase have dug up this very interesting article where Peter Capaldi is, as it says here, speaking out on the inclusivity of the Doctor Who. The Doctor Who, okay. And Peter Capaldi apparently said, if you're going to cry about the show that's becoming more progressive to make more people feel welcome, then you aren't a fan. Crying that Doctor Who is woke now is pathetic. I don't have the time to sign or take photographs with these nonsense people. We are not in the 60s. The Doctor and the Master have now rightfully been played by Jodie and Michelle. When you have people come up to you and moan about those castings, you have to switch off and you just want to leave. Russell is going to make the show relevant for everyone. If you don't like that, don't watch. So there you go, the 12th Doctor speaks his mind. I mean, that's of course if it was actually true, because he never said those words at all. I've spent many times, and so have many of the other people who you know I follow, have spent hours looking for any evidence of said speech. And the only way that we found evidence of this said speech is by Whovian fanbase's own typing. Also, Peter Capaldi would never, ever say such words. He genuinely wouldn't. What he actually said was, have there been candidates for diverse ethnic backgrounds? Capaldi replies with an emphatic yes, definitely. The show, he says, has been making a more conscious move towards more diversity. The thing about Doctor Who is, it is at its best when it reflects the culture and the times that it's in. Because it's a very successful show, sometimes it just digs its own groove of success. And I think it's time for us to be more recognisable as being in the 21st century. That was it. That's what he said. Unfortunately, some people have interpreted it as that. I never would ever expect anyone professionally calling people not fans. He would never call people pathetic, and he most definitely wouldn't have time to sign or take photos with these nonsense people, because how would he know? You see, this is why I walked away. Well, one of the reasons why I walked away from Doctor Who, as in watching it, is because of the sheer insanity of morons like this, who just take it upon themselves to make up a speech, putting words in Peter Capaldi's mouth, just to push along their own sick, warped agenda. But no, please, feel free to carry on and make shit up. Because the simple truth of the matter is, when it all comes down to it, I have been wrong about Doctor Who. No, I really have. Doctor Who has always been a reflection of the times that it's in. The difference is now, instead of the reflection of the times being subtle, and in the story as part of the story, it has now become the story. Everything has to fit around the message. And the simple truth of the matter is Doctor Who is a perfect reflection of society right now, which is a steaming pile of dog shit. That's why it's doing what it's doing. Yes, it is doing what it has done since the 1960s. It is doing what Star Trek did. Star Trek was a reflection of the times, and has been a reflection of the times, and is why Star Trek is also a steaming pile of shit, because it has to reflect current society. So the show, both those shows, Star Trek and Doctor Who, are technically doing exactly as they have done. But unfortunately for them, the society that they're now reflecting is crap. It's obsessed with pointlessness. And the problem is, up until recently, there's not been that pushback. And the reason there's not been that pushback is because up until recently, it was a reflection, as I said, of society at the time, but in a subtle way, in a clever way, and wasn't the focus of the story. It wasn't the selling point of the series, which of course nowadays, that's exactly what it is. So in reality, I've been wrong about Star Trek and I've been wrong about Doctor Who. They are still intrinsically the same show as they've always been. They're just reflecting society as general, which, as I said, is a steaming pile of dog shit. But the problem is, instead of it subtly being there, it is now the sole focus of the show. And everything is written around it. See, I said written. Scribbled down on the back of a fag packet. Sorry, not fags anymore for these idiots. It's soy milk. To try and fit the story, which is why all of them have rushed endings, because that's not what they've thought of. It's all about the message. So I do take it back slightly. Doctor Who hasn't changed. Star Trek hasn't changed. It is reflecting society. It's just sad for the shows that society is what it has to reflect. Any case, thank you for Whovian fan base for making up such ridiculous bullshit, which everybody is now calling you out on because you can't actually provide any evidence of the actual words spoken. And it just shows you the level that it's got to, the people that the show now panders to and reflects to. And unfortunately, they're the dwindling numbers that are slowly but steadily not watching the show. I'm glad I tapped out of it. Yes, it means that I've had to make changes to my channel and I'm going off in a slightly different direction, even though I will still comment on this and other things that are going on in the entertainment industry. But the simple truth of the matter is, there is no point in wasting time on that. But it does sometimes entertain me. And sometimes I do feel the need to come back in, but it's coming back in because my channel is also reflecting society as it is right now. And I'm showing you the consequences that can potentially be of such a pathetic society that we currently live in a dangerous world that we live in. Any case, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please feel free to do what it says down the bottom, like, share and subscribe. There's a comment section down below. Please feel free to use it whenever you catch up with this video. I do hope you have a wonderful morning, afternoon or evening. And with that, and as always, and until the next one, could it be Doctor Who? Could it be Star Trek? Could it be the impending World War III? Who knows? That's why I always talk about stuff. That's why it's Gobster Talks About Things. And with that little gem, I am going to love you and leave you.